So we try to keep up on all the Shudder releases, all the Shudder originals. We're not 100% on them, but we try. There's some that just don't look appealing, and then others we just don't get to for some reason. But we're kind of making our way back through some of the ones that came out this year. I think this one came this year. Yeah, this one came out this year. This is The Seed, and it is about three younger women. One of them is an influencer. The I don't know what the other.
She's also an influencer, but she's like a yoga instructor.
No, I know, but the other one's like your job.
She works at a pet store.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So they have this little weekend getaway, just the three girls, and they go out to this secluded place. It's one of the girls' dad's place. And when they get there, they're going out there for the meteor shower because not only do they want to get away, but it's, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You can see it better. And so something lands in the pool and it's alive.
It's alive!
Having read the kind of brief synopsis of this on IMDb, while it does do exactly what it said, this went nowhere I thought it was going to. What'd you think?
I liked the ending. I got more into the movie, like we sort of talked a little in the latter half of the film because I think you said it really well earlier. I had a really hard time relating to the brunette who's supposed to be the relatable character because I felt like she was just really one-sided and she wasn't super interesting. And so I was kind of bored in the beginning. The two influencer girls were obnoxious and they were meant to be obnoxious. The first 10 minutes of the movie, I wasn't really into the acting. And I don't know, there was just one line that the yoga instructor girl delivered that threw me off really hard from her acting. But towards the end of the film, I got into it and I liked the effects that showed up at the end with the thing and what happens at the very end. But what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a film that succeeds in its second half much more than its first, kind of jumping off of what she said about what I said. So when you have these characters that are extremely superficial and annoying and kind of archetypes of modern people that we know to be, for the most part, vapid and impossible to stand. Mm-hmm. Just very self-absorbed, and all the words. There is that character that's supposed to be the grounded, down-to-earth girl, and yeah, she's just not interesting. And when you have a film like this, where the first 45 minutes of the film is really focusing on the character development, which gets you into the latter half of the film and makes you care for what's going on, you're really dependent upon your anchor character, which is this, the down-to-earth one. And she's just not given really anything to do. So it really just kind of makes it a chore. It's not unwatchable.
No.
It's just kind of there. And you're like, oh yeah, we all know people like this. Right. Oh yeah, this is definitely how these people are. You don't really want to spend much time with them. And the girl's kind of that quiet, shy girl mm-hmm. that, needs to have more depth to her, and she's even kind of dumb at times.
Yeah, there's
where she says some things
in the beginning
where she's like, well, maybe a bear mated with an armadillo, or I'm like that's what? Not how that works. She's and you're supposed to be the smart one. She's like, I read books, and it's like, you don't know that species can't, different species can't fucking copulate and have offspring. Yeah. Although I guess in this movie they can.
They can.
So yeah, okay. So the highlights of the film. There are very trippy cosmic visuals which are really cool.
Yes.
There's some good shot selections, extreme close-up stuff like that make it uncomfortable, but purposely and well done. It's got some great music in a lot of places. So the score is really solid. The film looks really good. Solid production value. I think the characters play their roles well, even if the script is lacking depth within the characters. And I think there is a lot of really good creature design and makeup throughout. So there's a lot of visual effects, all practical. I don't think there's like any CG almost at all in this film that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
So there is a monster. It's an alien thing. This is what comes to Earth. And this thing is very, very odd.
It's weird.
And memorable because of what it does. Definitely something you're not going to forget very quickly after you see it. It gets real bizarro. And you're like, whoa. Okay, this is where this is heading. And yeah, the ending kind of ramps up a little bit of the violence and the payoff. So even though it is a kind of a little bit of a chore to sit through in that first 45-minute character development driven part, that's not much of a development of characters because you don't really give a fuck about these characters because they don't really have character, right?
Yeah.
You can't build character development if the characters don't have character. So that's, its biggest sin. But once it kind of hits that place where, because you're just waiting for the thing to happen. You're like, okay, I know something's happening with this thing in the pool. Let's get it out. Let's get it going. And once it gets going, that's where it starts to get very interesting. And I feel like if this main anchor character could have been relatable and interesting and carried the film more, and I don't know if that's the actress's fault or the writing that was given to her. I'm going to probably say the writing. Doesn't matter. Regardless, the anchor character isn't interesting enough to carry this film to the place where it could have in order for this film to be a positive. Like, you should watch this. That being said, I think that if you're into creature features and you're into like weird, trippy, cosmic stuff and you like, kind of bizarro sexual stuff in your movies, there's some fun to be had here for sure. And I'm glad we watched it. I will say 45 minutes in, I was like regretting my decision to put it on. Sure. Kind of like, oh fuck, this isn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But once it hits that place where it ramps up, I actually had a good time from there on. And if the rest of the movie had mirrored that,
it would have been
in my interest. I would have been like, hell yeah, big thumbs up.
Absolutely.
So it's a thumbs down for the first 45, a thumbs up for the latter half. So weird kind of review, weird. Mixed there, but
the cosmic horror.
I liked it.
Yeah, I like
Overall.
the weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the highlight for me was how strange things got towards the end because it was just like, what? But I don't know. It's hard to. It's like, I guess if you, like you said, if you're into monster movies and like weird creatures and stuff, then you'll like this. But the first half.
Just make the characters better. Is all there is to it. But I feel like everyone did their part fine. I feel like it's really well shot. I feel like it's competent. So as I said, it's watchable. Yeah. While we were watching it, I would have shut it off 10 minutes in had it been terrible, right? It's not like I sat through 45 minutes of terrible and then it got good. It was like just fine. I was like, okay, like we're here, we're watching it. I get these characters. There's not much here with these people, right? Like, you're not getting much out of them. I feel like you could fast forward the first 45 minutes and press play when the sex scene happens and just watch it from there, and you can pretty much figure out everything about the characters from that point on from the previous half. Yeah. You don't really need much out from there because there's not really anything there.
There isn't.
So, that's that. The Seed.
The Seed.
Not sure what the seed is. I guess it's I can't say, but I think it's what's in the very, very end, right? It's what it's passing on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
That's it.
On Shudder. Bye.
Oh, wait, adios.
Oh, yeah, adios. Whatever.